Have you ever wondered why happiness feels out of reach despite all your efforts? It could be that you're missing some key truths about life. What if your happiness isn't tied to your job, your relationships, or your possessions? What if it's about accepting life as it is, not as you wish it to be? The truth is, your time is limited, and the choices you make today shape your future. Embrace these harsh realities, and you'll uncover the true power you have to live a life of purpose, fulfillment, and lasting happiness. Let's dive in. Number 1. Life is not always fair. From a young age, we're often told that good things happen to good people and that hard work will always lead to success. While these ideas sound comforting, they don't reflect the reality of life. The harsh truth is that life is not always fair. Good people face hardships, bad people sometimes succeed, and effort doesn't always guarantee reward. Accepting this truth is essential to living a happy and resilient life. Life's unfairness can manifest in countless ways. For example, someone might get a promotion at work because of favoritism rather than merit, or you might face challenges despite doing everything right. Similarly, natural disasters, illnesses, and accidents don't discriminate between people who deserve them and those who don't. These situations highlight how randomness and inequality are inherent parts of life. The first step to accepting this truth is letting go of the expectation that life should always be fair. Feeling entitled to fairness can lead to frustration and bitterness when things don't go your way. Instead of dwelling on the unfairness of a situation, focus on what you can control: your attitude, decisions, and actions. This perspective doesn't mean ignoring injustice. It's important to fight for fairness when you can, especially in your community or for others who are disadvantaged. Another key to managing life's unfairness is developing resilience. When you accept that setbacks are a natural part of life, you become better equipped to face them without being overwhelmed. Think of life as a game where the rules aren't always clear or consistent. Instead of giving up when the odds are against you, you learn to adapt and play with the cards you've been dealt. Resilience allows you to bounce back stronger after every setback, turning challenges into opportunities for growth. Another way to approach unfairness is to see it as a teacher. Life's hardships often provide valuable lessons and insights. For example, losing a job might teach you how to manage finances better, or a failed relationship might help you discover what you truly need in a partner. These lessons aren't always immediately clear, but over time they can lead to growth and wisdom. Finally, remember that fairness is a human concept. Nature doesn't operate based on fairness. Storms, earthquakes, and diseases affect people randomly, regardless of their actions or character. In conclusion, life's unfairness is an unavoidable reality. By accepting this truth, you free yourself from unnecessary resentment and disappointment. Instead of expecting fairness, focus on cultivating resilience, gratitude, and adaptability. 2. Change is inevitable. Change is one of life's few certainties. No matter how much we try to plan or hold on to what feels comfortable, change is always happening around us and within us. It might be a job loss, a relationship ending, moving to a new city, or even something as simple as the seasons shifting. Change can be exciting, but it can also feel overwhelming, especially when it disrupts the stability we rely on. Accepting that change is inevitable allows you to live more peacefully and adapt to life's twists and turns. Resisting change is like trying to stop a river from flowing. It's not only impossible, but also exhausting. One reason people struggle with change is fear. We often fear the unknown because it takes us out of our comfort zones. When something familiar changes, it can feel like we've lost control. For example, losing a job might bring uncertainty about your finances, or moving to a new place might make you worry about finding friends. These fears are natural, but resisting change only prolongs the discomfort. When you accept that change is part of life, you can face it with curiosity and courage instead of fear. Another challenge with change is letting go of the past. It's easy to cling to what feels safe or familiar, even when it no longer serves us. For instance, you might stay in an unhappy relationship because you're afraid of being alone, or hold on to an old habit that prevents you from growing. Letting go is hard, but it's necessary to make room for new opportunities and experiences. Instead of resisting, you can choose to adapt, learn, and grow. This mindset helps you find stability even in uncertain times. Adapting to change also requires flexibility. Imagine a tree in a strong wind. Rigid branches might snap, but flexible ones bend and survive. Similarly, being open to change allows you to navigate challenges more smoothly. Flexibility doesn't mean you have to like every change, but it does mean being willing to adjust your mindset and approach when circumstances shift. It's also important to recognize the opportunities that change brings. While some changes can feel negative at first, they often lead to growth and new possibilities. Another way to embrace change is to practice gratitude for the present moment. When you appreciate what you have right now, you're less likely to fear losing it. At the same time, gratitude helps you see change as a natural part of life, rather than something to dread. For example, instead of mourning the end of a chapter, you can be grateful for the experiences it brought and look forward to what's next. In conclusion, change is inevitable, but resisting it only leads to frustration and fear. By accepting this truth, you can approach life with a sense of openness and adaptability. Whether the change is positive, challenging, or somewhere in between, it's an opportunity to learn, grow, and explore new possibilities. 3. You are not that important. Many people grow up believing that they are the center of the universe. This belief is often reinforced during childhood, where parents, teachers, and society focus on nurturing individuality and self-esteem. While it's important to feel valued and have self-worth, there's a point where this idea of being overly important can become harmful. Life constantly reminds us that we are just one of billions of people on this planet, and the world does not revolve around any single individual. Accepting this truth can be challenging, but ultimately freeing. First, it's crucial to understand that most people are too busy with their own lives to constantly think about you. Often, we overanalyze interactions, worrying about what others think of us or how they perceive our actions. In reality, most people are preoccupied with their own struggles, dreams, and challenges. For instance, if someone forgets to reply to your message, it's likely not a personal slight. They might be busy, distracted, or dealing with their own issues. Understanding this can reduce unnecessary anxiety and help you stop taking things personally. Letting go of the need to feel overly significant also helps in managing expectations. When you stop expecting the world to cater to your desires or accommodate your preferences, you become more adaptable and open to life's realities. Humility is another key benefit of embracing this truth. When you realize you're not the most important person in the world, it becomes easier to acknowledge the value of others. This humility allows you to listen more, learn from others, and build stronger relationships. It also reduces the pressure to constantly prove yourself or compete for recognition. By letting go of ego, you create space for genuine growth and self-improvement. From a broader perspective, considering the vastness of the universe can help put this truth into context. Earth is just one planet among billions in the galaxy, and humanity is just a tiny blip in the timeline of existence. Another liberating aspect of this truth is the release of perfectionism. If you're not the center of the universe, then your mistakes, failures, or imperfections don't carry as much weight as you might think. People are often too focused on their own lives to scrutinize yours. This realization gives you the freedom to take risks, try new things, and fail without fear of judgment. Finally, this truth teaches us to appreciate the small moments in life. When we stop obsessing over our own importance, we can focus on the present and enjoy the simple joys of living. Whether it's spending time with loved ones, appreciating nature, or pursuing hobbies, these experiences remind us that life's beauty often lies in its simplicity. In conclusion, accepting that you are not that important isn't about diminishing your self-worth. It's about understanding your place in the world and embracing the freedom that comes with it. 4. Your time is limited. One of the harshest truths about life is that time is finite. No matter how much we may want more of it, everyone's time on this earth is limited, and none of us knows exactly how much we have. Accepting this truth can be difficult, but it's also empowering. When you fully embrace the reality that your time is precious, you become more intentional about how you live, making choices that align with your true priorities and values. The first step to understanding this truth is acknowledging how easily time slips away. It's easy to get caught up in daily routines, distractions, or waiting for the perfect moment to pursue your dreams. One common way people waste time is by prioritizing things that don't bring them genuine happiness or fulfillment. For example, spending hours scrolling through social media, obsessing over other people's lives, or chasing material possessions may feel rewarding in the short term, but often leaves you feeling empty. Reflect on what truly matters to you. Whether it's building meaningful relationships, personal growth, or contributing to something greater than yourself. Another way to make the most of your limited time is by being fully present. Many people spend their days either dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, which takes them away from the present moment. Mindfulness practices, like meditation, or simply paying attention to what's happening right now, can help you savor the present and experience life more fully. For instance, instead of rushing through a meal while thinking about work, take time to enjoy the flavors and appreciate the moment. Accepting that your time is limited also encourages you to face your fears and take risks. Many people avoid pursuing their dreams or trying new things because they fear failure or discomfort. But when you recognize that life is short, those fears start to matter less. Finally, remember that while time is limited, it's also abundant in the sense that you can choose how to use it. Even small changes, like spending less time on distractions or focusing on what you value most, can significantly impact the quality of your life. 5. Happiness is a choice. Happiness is often thought of as something that happens to us, a feeling that arises when everything in life falls perfectly into place. While external events can influence how we feel, the truth is that happiness is more about perspective than circumstances. It's a mindset, a choice you make every day, regardless of what's happening around you. Understanding and embracing this truth can transform the way you live. Many people tie their happiness to external conditions, such as success, wealth, relationships, or possessions. True happiness doesn't come from what you have, it comes from how you view your life. Choosing happiness begins with your mindset. Instead of focusing on what you lack or what's going wrong, shift your attention to what's going well. Gratitude is a powerful tool for cultivating happiness. By appreciating the small joys in life, a sunny day, a kind gesture, or a good meal, you train your mind to find positivity in everyday moments. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring challenges. It means balancing them with an awareness of the good that still exists. Another aspect of choosing happiness is letting go of things you can't control. Life is full of uncertainties, disappointments, and setbacks. While you can't always change your circumstances, you can control how you respond to them. Forgiveness is another essential part of happiness. Holding on to anger, resentment, or grudges only prolongs your suffering. When you choose to forgive, you're not condoning someone else's actions. You're freeing yourself from the emotional burden they've caused. Forgiveness allows you to move forward with a lighter heart and more room for joy. Mindfulness is a helpful practice for cultivating happiness. By staying present in the moment, you can fully experience life as it happens, rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. Mindfulness teaches you to appreciate the here and now, which is where happiness truly resides. Simple activities like deep breathing, walking in nature, or savoring a meal can bring you back to the present and help you feel more content. Finally, happiness is amplified by connection. Relationships with family, friends, and your community play a significant role in how happy you feel. When you invest time in meaningful connections, you create a support system that brings joy and comfort. Even small acts of kindness, like smiling at a stranger or sharing a laugh with a coworker, can boost your happiness and strengthen your bonds with others. In conclusion, happiness is not something you find, it's something you create. 6. Accepting not everyone will like you. One of the hardest truths to accept is that not everyone will like you, no matter how kind, thoughtful, or talented you are. It's natural to want to be liked and accepted by others. After all, humans are social creatures who thrive on connection. However, trying to please everyone is not only exhausting, but also impossible. Accepting this truth is key to living authentically and finding happiness. When you focus too much on trying to be liked by everyone, you risk losing yourself. You might suppress your true personality, avoid expressing your opinions, or pretend to be someone you're not just to fit in. Over time, this can make you feel disconnected from yourself and lead to resentment or unhappiness. Living authentically means embracing who you are, even if it means not everyone will approve. Instead of seeking universal approval, focus on building meaningful relationships with people who genuinely appreciate and value you. These are the relationships that matter most and will bring you the greatest sense of fulfillment. Accepting that not everyone will like you also frees you from the fear of judgment. Often we worry about what others think of us, which can hold us back from pursuing our goals or expressing ourselves. As the saying goes, what other people think of you is none of your business. It's important to remember that disliking someone doesn't always mean there's something wrong with them or with you. Just as you don't connect with everyone you meet, others may not connect with you, and that's perfectly normal. It doesn't mean you're flawed. It simply means you're not a good fit for everyone, and that's okay. Guilt or frustration. In practice, accepting that not everyone will like you means being selective about where you invest your energy. Instead of trying to win over everyone, prioritize the people and activities that align with your values and bring you joy. In conclusion, accepting that not everyone will like you is a liberating realization. It allows you to live authentically, free from the need for constant approval. 7. You are responsible for your life. One of the most empowering yet challenging truths is that you are fully responsible for your life. While external factors like upbringing, society, and circumstances influence your path, the choices you make ultimately shape your future. Accepting this responsibility can be intimidating. It means there's no one else to blame when things go wrong. However, it's also liberating because it puts the power to create a fulfilling life entirely in your hands. Many people fall into the trap of blaming others or external conditions for their problems. For example, someone might blame their parents for their lack of confidence, their boss for their dissatisfaction at work, or society for their financial struggles. While these factors might contribute to challenges, dwelling on blame keeps you stuck. It shifts the focus away from what you can do to improve your situation. Taking responsibility means acknowledging the challenges while also recognizing your ability to change, adapt, or overcome them. Taking responsibility begins with your mindset. It's easy to play the victim when life feels unfair, but this mindset robs you of your agency. For instance, if you're unhappy in your job, you might feel powerless and complain about the lack of opportunities. However, a responsible mindset would encourage you to evaluate your skills, explore new career paths, or even take classes to improve your qualifications. While it might not be easy, taking ownership of your life allows you to move forward rather than remain stuck. Part of accepting responsibility is recognizing that your choices have consequences. For example, if you procrastinate on a project, you're choosing the stress of rushing to finish it at the last minute. If you consistently overspend, you're choosing financial insecurity. These situations aren't caused solely by external factors. They result from your actions or inaction. By owning your decisions, you gain the power to make better ones. However, while you can't control what happens to you, you can control how you respond. This is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, focusing on what's within your power. Self-awareness plays a crucial role in taking responsibility. It requires you to be honest with yourself about your strengths, weaknesses, and patterns of behavior. Did you underestimate the time required? Did you fail to communicate effectively? By taking responsibility, you can develop strategies to avoid similar mistakes in the future. True happiness comes from within. This means cultivating a positive mindset, practicing gratitude, and focusing on what you can control. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you have to do everything alone. It's okay to seek help, learn from others, or rely on a support system when needed.